So yesterday I got the exhaust on, got the tail shaft in, and I fixed the fuel line issue. So now I just need to put the speedo cable in, and then I can put this thing on the ground. So I'm going to do that now. I'll climb underneath, put the speedo cable in and feed it into the engine bay, and then I'll put this back on the ground on its own wheels, and then start buttoning up all the last few things in the engine bay. So I've just hooked up the speedo cable. You can see it just here. So that's it there coming from the gearbox. And then it goes into the firewall just there. So the reason I've left the steering column out is because the speedo cable is just there. And it comes up to the back of the dash, and the easiest way to get to it is put your hand under here and plug it in. So you've got to plug it in pretty much dead level with the speedo. So doing that with the steering column in is a pain in the bum. So I've left that out, so now I can probably put it back in. But while I've got it out, I'll do the clutch cable, because that's also under the dash and a bit of a pain. So to complete the manual conversion, I need this clutch cup, which just holds a little rubber bush, and then the clutch cable goes through that. So I've drilled this one off of the KE70. Just drilled the 3 spot welds out. Just got to clean it up a bit. So I'm going to install it into this car. So where this foil is, I just need to take the foil off. The hole's already there. Clean this up a little bit and weld that on there. Just a few tacks just to hold it in place. And then I can feed this clutch line through. And then this rubber grommet down here can sit into that cup. So I cleaned up the clutch cup a little bit and gave it a quick coat of paint, which was probably pointless, but it looks a bit nicer. And then I just tack welded it to the firewall. So on the outside, not the inside, because I couldn't get in there with the gun. A few burn marks, but it's on there. So that's all we need. So now I can feed the clutch cable through the firewall. There we go, the cable is fed through the firewall. So we've got the clutch cup, that rubber grommet I was talking about, a metal washer, and then the little E-clip. So I've just put this back on in the same position it was in the other car, because I knew it worked. And we've got the same engine, and the same pedals, and the same cable. So in the car here, we've got a clutch pedal, we've got brakes, we've got an accelerator. So the steering column can go back in now, but I don't want to do that just yet. So what else do we need to do? We need to cut this out, get a shifter in it. So I ended up getting the angle grinder out and cutting a massive hole. I put some tape over the shifter position and then cut away. And then used a welding glove to stop the carpet catching on fire. So that's all good. So I'm going to have to vacuum the car again, but that's fine. So now I'll go grab the shifter and then try and make a plate to go over here. So I'll try and reuse what it came with, but we'll see how we go. So I've got the shifter back in. Just chuck the rubber boot underneath the floor for now. So I need to make a new plate for this because the old one's not going to work. So all it needs to do is just be sealed and not letting the fumes through or letting the oil through. So I'll seal it when I put it on permanently, but all I need to do now is just make a plate that goes on here, just screw it down. So I've just marked out this square. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole saw through the middle, line that up with the old plate, drill a hole in the middle-ish, and then cut it out. So it's a good thing I have all of this spare metal laying around. So we've got a new plate, cut it, hole sawed and smoothed off. So now when I'm ready and I've filled the gearbox with oil and everything, then I can attach this to the trans tunnel. Alright, so I've just changed jobs for a minute. So onto the battery holder. So this is what came with the purple car. This was off of the white K70. So if I hook that in down there where it's supposed to be, it's actually a little bit too short for the battery. So because this is all corroded away anyway, so I'll cut it just short of that corrosion and then weld another bolt on here, and then I'll make it long enough to go through this part here. So I'll just do that now and show you what I end up with. So there we go, all mounted up. So that's the battery clamp that came with the purple car onto the K70 one that we modified with the bolt, and not going anywhere. Sweet, another thing off the list. So I've just taken the shifter off and it is about 8 miles long. So I've marked where I want to cut off, just here. So I'm going to cut that and then weld a bolt similar to what I did yesterday onto there, and then I can use a IS300 shifter which I had in the shed. So that'll give me a gear knob, and then once I get all this into the car, I can use the edge of the bolt as a holder for the gear boot. It's not very pretty, but it's better than that. So now we have somewhere to put the shifter on, and it's not super long, so that'll sit in the car. It's a little bit longer than normal, but it's fine. So the shifter from the IS300 will go on here, and then once I get a gear boot, it'll clip onto here and then fan out from there. To Sprints this morning and Bunnings, so I got a few things for the car. I got some gearbox oil, so we'll just chuck that in the shifter hole and then seal up the shifter hole. So there's a few little breathers in here which you can actually fill the oil up through, which is much easier than getting under the car, taking the filler weld out and putting it in. So just going to get these guys, which are the squeezy packets. So you put it on, put the straw on, and then just squeeze it into the hole. So it takes a while to drain through, but it gets there. So we're going to put 1.7 litres in. So the next thing to do is a fuel filter. So this is a Z114, it's the KE70 one. So just pull this one out and put this one back in. So it's 2 hose clamps. So I'm doing this because the fuel line was all blocked up, and when I put the air through it, it's blown all the crap back into the tank. So it's a good idea to change the fuel filter, run it for a bit, get rid of some of that crap that's in the tank now, and then hopefully it'll sort itself out in the fuel filter. Alright, done. Easy as that. Alright, so I'm just cleaning off the top of the gearbox here with a rag, just to get some of the gearbox oil that we may have spilt on there. So just clean that up, and then clean up the shifter as well, which is the one we just welded the bolt to. So just clean that up. I'm going to chuck some sealant around here, and then bolt it into the trans. So just sealed up the shifter, just putting it back into place, and then put the 4 bolts back in, which are 12 mils, and I can guarantee I'll drop one on the floor, because I did that yesterday. Well, maybe not. If you don't have one of these, get one. They are fantastic. So this is the shifter off of the auto trans from the IS300 that I scrapped a few months ago. So I went and got a bolt from Bunnings this morning, and now that just threads straight on there. And it's not this long. Perfect. So we have a gearbox. So next up I need to seal this plate, which I cut off the roof of the K30 yesterday. So I'm going to put some sealant around it now that the gearbox is all sealed up. Put some sealant around here, and then just TEG screw it to the trans tunnel, and then hammer it around to shape so it fits nicely. A little bit dodgy, but I don't have the time or patience to weld all that in at this point. So I'll just attach that like that, and then get back up, caught up in a minute. So I'm just using Toyota black sealant, which is the best stuff you can get. It's reasonably expensive, but it'll seal anything, so get this stuff. Alright, so I've just screwed the plate down. I'm going to use some slight calibrating and make it fit the tunnel nicely. So I just went down the shop and got some JB Weld for that fuel leak we had earlier. So I've just rolled up a little bit and stuck it to the carby here. So apparently this is fuel safe and 900 psi and 300 degrees safe, so it should be fine. Obviously not the ideal fix, and if I was keeping this I would try and find the part to replace that, but I'm not, and I don't care. So that'll work, and the car runs fine. So got no brakes. I had brakes when I got the car, but now I have no brakes, so I have to check that out now as well. Alright, so we think we have a dodgy booster, so I'm just going to take this one off, and then I'll take the one off the purple car and put that one on here and see if that fixes it.
There you go.
It's a boy! Alright, so we've just got the brakes working again. So we took the booster off, took the one off the other car, swapped them over, didn't make any difference, so put the original one back on there. And then the master cylinder seems like it's been pushed in and then seized. So we pulled it all off and wiggled it around a bit and got it to free up again. So we've put that back in the car, and now we've got pedals. So we did have to disconnect the brake lines a little bit. So we've got pedal at the moment, but if it gets worse or if it could be better when I start driving it, then we'll have to bleed the brakes again. There may be a little bit of air in the system, but as it is, the brakes are working, the clutch is working, the accelerator's working, so we could drive this right now. There's no seat and no steering column, so that's the next thing to do. So we just got the steering column back in. We haven't got the keys yet, so I can't do that bit. So I've got the top part of the steering column on, and then I can't do the bottom bit until we get the key. And then once I get the key, I can put the bottom bit on and put the aircon vent back on and the trim panel that goes here. So I'll plug in the indicators and plug in the key barrel, and then we just need to wait for the key, which is in the mail. So a common problem with KE70s is the seat collapses, the framework underneath or the rubber bit snaps, and this intelligent person has put blocks of wood in there. So we'll get rid of those, and I'm just going to try and run some rope or something, or a clothesline rope if I've got one, just side to side, just to try and support the seat a bit more. It'll just be a bit softer and not wood. So I've just re-strung the bottom of the seat. I've just used a bit of clothesline wire, which is pretty strong stuff. It's just left over from when we built the house, or renovated the house. So hopefully this will be a bit softer than the wood. It's probably not going to be great, but it'll be better than what we had. Not as good as the factory stuff, but that is long gone. So let's put this back in the car.
How did the steering wheel turn the wipers on?
It got caught on the dash cover thing.
On that thing made of complete unobtainium.
Yeah, this plastic thing got caught on the steering wheel and it turned the wipers on. But the wipers work, so that's good.
It also sounds really, really fucking good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
It slipped okay.
Yeah.
Successful test drive. Brakes work, steering works. It sounds good. Let's go on the road. Honey. or something.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Neutral start switch.
Something strange. Getting too much fuel.
Could be.
No fuel?
Could be no fuel. I'm pushing you, bloody
I reckon it's got no fuel.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Maybe a little line clearance didn't clear the lines.
Or it's got no fuel.
All that.
There's no fuel in here. I reckon it's got no fuel.
I think you're right. Push it back.
Push it back. See how
All
we
right.
run. So I think we ran out of fuel in the K70. It only had a couple dribbles in it anyway. So we're going to go down the servo and try and get some more. And then see if we can make it up the street and back again without having to push it. We have returned with fuel. And I couldn't find my funnel, so I made one.
Classic. Sorry, ladies, are we disturbing you? Alright kids, make sure you put at least a litre into each carb.
Just a dribble.
Yes, don't overdo it.
So I'm just hooking the air line up to the fuel line again because we think it's blocked. So we put a new fuel filter on it a couple minutes ago and it's already got a whole bunch of crap in it. This dark spot here is all from the tank. So that's all rust and gunk from the tank. So hopefully we can blow this through again, run it a bit more, pick up some more crap and then keep rotating the fuel filter until it's all clean. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Well, you'd rather block filters and block jets, so
Carbies, fuel pumps, and
needles and other sorts of words we don't understand. Stuff you, carbies. Get a real computer.
this is the only computer I need.
Built with Spanish, not chopsticks, boys.
Yeah. Screwdriver, not computer.
Yeah, fuel filter's nice and full. Probably nice and...
Got lots of petrol in it and lots of rust probably. So I'm going to have to keep those on hand I think because this is a bit of a problem. Let's try and go around the block again.
Alright. Those guys are still
the same guys.
Now you're going to go beans around you. Huh? Now you're going to go beans past you.
Yeah, try. At least if we get the beans on the way home we can roll into the driveway.
True.
That's not it.
I didn't think so.
That's not all the beans. I just don't want to be a complete nuisance. It's like village.
Cheeky bit of dieseling.
Bit of diesel. Rego and a bonnet.